Unleashing your emotional superpowers, the revolutionary path to authentic living. Welcome, brave souls, to a journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about emotions, self awareness, and standing up for what you believe in. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into the transformative wisdom of Kaija Pack, a visionary leader whose insights are not just changing lives, they're revolutionizing the very way we approach our humanity. Now, you might be wondering, who is Kaija Pack and why should I care? Well, let me tell you, Kaija isn't just another self-help guru or motivational speaker. She's a force of nature, a beacon of authenticity in a world that often feels suffocatingly fake. Her message is both a battle cry and a love letter to our shared humanity. And trust me, by the end of this talk, you'll be ready to join her emotional revolution. Imagine for a moment a world where you never have to apologize for having a human experience again. A world where your tears are celebrated, your anger is honored, and your joy is amplified. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, buckle up, because that's exactly the world Kaija Pack is fighting to create. And she's inviting all of us to join the fight. Let's start with the truth bomb that might make you squirm in your seat. We've been lied to about our emotions. For years, centuries even, we've been told that emotions are weakness, that vulnerability is a flaw, that the key to success is to man up and power through. But here's the kicker. That advice isn't just wrong, it's actively harmful. It's like trying to drive a car with the parking brake on and wondering why you're not getting anywhere. Kaija's first principle is this: embrace your emotions, all of them, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, I know what you're thinking. Embrace my emotions? Are you crazy? Do you know what would happen if I let myself feel everything? And to that, I say, yes, I do. Magic would happen. Let's talk about Maya Angelou for a moment. You know her as a renowned author, poet, and civil rights activist, but do you know her as one of the most emotionally intelligent badasses of the 20th century? Maya Angelou faced racism, trauma, and abuse that would have broken most people. But instead of burying her pain, she used it as fuel for her art. Imagine Maya sitting at her desk, tears streaming down her face as she poured her heart onto the page. Those tears, that raw emotion, became words that have inspired millions. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings isn't just a book, it's a testament to the power of embracing our emotions, of turning our pain into purpose. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, now that's all well and good for Maya Angelou, but I'm not a world famous poet. What good will crying do me? Well, let me hit you with some science. When you cry, your body releases stress hormones and toxins. It's literally flushing out the bad dad stuff. It's like a car wash for your soul. But embracing your emotions isn't just about having a good cry now and then. It's about acknowledging all of your feelings, even the ones society tells you to suppress. Angry, great. Channel that anger into fighting injustice. Scared, fantastic. Use that fear to fuel your courage. Joyful, shout it from the rooftops and let your happiness inspire others. Kaija puts it beautifully. Don't ever apologize for crying. As a matter of fact, embrace those tears and understand the strength that comes from each one. So the next time you feel tears welling up, whether it's from joy, sadness, or frustration, let them flow. You're not being weak, you're being human. And let me tell you, there's nothing more powerful than a human fully embracing their humanity. Now, let's move on to Kaija's second principle: self awareness. This isn't some new age woo woo concept. This is practical, life changing stuff. Being aware of your energy and adjusting it as needed is like having a superpower. It's the difference between being a leaf blown about by the wind and being the wind itself. Let's talk about Oprah Winfrey for a moment. Yes, that Oprah, the woman who built a media empire and became one of the most influential people on the planet. Do you think she did that by accident? Hell no. Oprah is a master of self awareness. Picture Oprah walking into a room. She doesn't just enter, she assesses. She's tuned into her own energy and the energy of those around her. She knows when to dial it up and when to tone it down. She understands that her energy affects everyone around her, and she uses that knowledge to create connection, to inspire change, to make magic happen. Oprah often talks about the importance of intention, of being conscious about the energy we bring into a room. This isn't about always being positive or suppressing negative emotions. It's about understanding our energy, acknowledging it, and choosing how we want to direct it.
Kaija says we have to wake up every day with the mindset that we are in control of our lives and we control the environment in which we operate. So we can thrive or not thrive. It's up to us. This level of self awareness gives us the power to shape our experiences rather than being at the mercy of our circumstances. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds great, but how do I actually do that? Huh. Well, I'm glad you asked. Start small. Set an alarm on your phone to go off every hour. When it does, take a moment to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What's your energy like? Were you focused or scattered, energized or drained? This might feel awkward at first, like you're some kind of emotional weather reporter. Today's forecast calls for mild anxiety with a chance of afternoon crankiness, but stick with it. Over time, you'll start to notice patterns. You'll learn what energizes you and what drains you. You'll become more attuned to your own needs and more skilled at meeting them. And here's where it gets really exciting. As you become more aware of your own energy, you'll start to notice the energy of those around you. You'll be able to read a room like a book to understand the unspoken dynamics at play. This isn't about manipulation, it's about connection. It's about being able to meet people where they are, to communicate more effectively, to lead with empathy and understanding. Imagine walking into a tense meeting and being able to shift the energy with your presence alone. Imagine being able to lift someone's spirits without saying a word. Imagine being so in tune with yourself that you can navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. That's the power of self awareness. Now, let's talk about Kaija's third principle, standing by your principles. In a world that often seems to reward conformity, Kaija reminds us of the power of staying true to ourselves and our beliefs. This isn't about being stubborn or inflexible. It's about having the courage to stand up for what we believe in, even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular. Let's talk about Rosa Parks. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute. I thought this was about emotions and self awareness. What does Rosa Parks have to do with this? Everything, my friends, everything. Picture the scene. Montgomery, Alabama, 1955. Rosa Parks, a 42-year-old seamstress, boards a bus after a long day at work. She takes a seat in the colored section, but as the bus fills up, the driver orders her to give up her seat to a white passenger. Now, the popular narrative is that Rosa was simply tired and didn't want to move, but that's not the whole story. Rosa Parks was tired, yes, but not just physically tired. She was tired of injustice, tired of being treated as less than human because of the color of her skin. In that moment, when the bus driver demanded she give up her seat, Rosa made a choice. She chose to stand by her principles, even though she knew the consequences would be severe. Rosa Parks wasn't just sitting, she was taking a stand. She was saying with her actions, I am a human being. I deserve respect, and I will not compromise my dignity or my principles, no matter the cost. The consequences were indeed severe. Rosa was arrested, fired from her job, and received death threats for years. But her act of courage sparked the Montgomery bus boycott and became a catalyst for the civil rights movement. One woman standing by her principles changed the course of history. Now, I'm not saying you need to spark a national movement to stand by your principles, but I am saying that every time you choose integrity over convenience, every time you speak up for what's right, even when it's scary, you're changing the world. You're creating ripples that spread far beyond what you can see. Kaija tells us never expect or get upset because someone else doesn't support your agenda. You must be willing to stand up for yourself and stand by your beliefs and principles. This doesn't mean you should be inflexible or close minded. It means having the courage to advocate for what you believe in, even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular. Standing by your principles also means being willing to walk away from situations that don't align with your values. As Kaija puts it, we must sit at tables that feed our specific needs. This might mean leaving a job that doesn't respect your worth, ending a relationship that doesn't support your growth, or speaking up against injustice even when it's easier to stay silent. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, this all sounds great in theory, but how do I put it into practice? How do I embrace my emotions, cultivate self awareness, and stand firm in my beliefs when the world seems determined to knock me down? The answer lies in small, consistent actions. Start by giving yourself permission to feel. The next time you're upset or angry or overjoyed, don't push the feeling away. Sit with it, acknowledge it, maybe even say it out loud. I'm feeling frustrated right now, and that's okay. Practice checking in with yourself throughout the day. How's your energy? Are you feeling drained or energized? What do you need in this moment? This kind of self awareness doesn't happen overnight, but with practice, it becomes second nature. And when it comes to standing by your principles, start small. The next time you're in a situation where speaking up feels scary, take a deep breath and share your perspective. Remember, you don't have to change everyone's mind, you just have to be true to yourself. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought from Kaija. Life allows us to express ourselves. It's all in how we do it. We have the power to shape our experiences, to live authentically, to embrace our full humanity. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. So here's my challenge to you. For the next week, I want you to be a detective of your own life. Notice your emotions without judging them. Pay attention to your energy and how it shifts throughout the day. And look for opportunities to stand up for what you believe in, even in small ways. Remember, the energy you release can't be returned, so make it count. Use it to fuel your growth, your authenticity, your impact on the world. Because when we embrace our emotions, when we cultivate self awareness, when we stand firm in our principles, that's when we truly begin to live. And who knows, maybe a year from now, you'll be the one on this stage sharing how embracing your emotions, cultivating self awareness, and standing by your principles changed your life. Maybe you'll be the next Maya Angelou, turning your pain into poetry that changes the world. Maybe you'll be the next Oprah, using your self awareness to build an empire of empathy and understanding. Maybe you'll be the next Rosa Parks, whose courage in standing by your principles sparks a movement. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll be something even better. You'll be fully, authentically, unapologetically you. And let me tell you, there's nothing more powerful, more revolutionary, more world changing than that. So go forth, embrace your emotions, cultivate your self awareness, and stand firm in your principles. The world is waiting for you to show up fully and authentically. It's time to unleash your emotional superpowers and change the world one authentic, unapologetic step at a time. Thank you.